been about a month since I picked up this Mini and dropped it off in the garage here. So we're going to start doing a bit of work on it, kind of preparing it for the summer. I got a bit of time. So this is the AGT DM20 with the 722 Kubota in it. So I was able to get the air filter cover off, which was kind of like jammed in here. And I was happy to find that it's got a pre-filter and then a main filter. There's no real markings on them, unfortunately, but I'm hoping it's a Kubota part. So I'll go and try and figure out what these are. I got a part number for the oil filter. It's painted over, but I was able to determine what that was. There's a little pre-filter inline, and I don't know if you can see it right here. No real good part number on it, like it's 5E08. Just some kind of inline fuel filter. When it's time to change it, what I'm going to do is replace the hoses and put it in a better location, because it's impossible to get to. It's not going to be pretty changing that filter. The fuel filter doesn't have part numbers on it, but the housing does, just up in here. So I wrote those down. I'll put that in the description of the video. So what we want to do today is I'm trying to collect information on the various parts, like the fuel filter, water separator inline, the air filter, swing motor, the belt. I got a part number off it, 9.5 by 820 LA. I want to see what the swivel is, see if it has any extra valves in it, which is unlikely. Get some more info on the pump. Then I want to get some more details on the pin measurements. I want to order a trenching bucket and a rake. I'm going to tighten the swing motor bolts and the sprocket bolts, which are just down there, because I feel like whoever's putting these together may not have the big enough tools for doing big fittings. I want to do a grease job on it. I need to roll over one connection here, so I'm going to disconnect this and roll it so that I can get to the grease fitting. Oh crap, I guess I can't. I was going to roll it over, but that means I got to roll over the whole cylinder and then swap the lines around, so I may not do that. I got to figure something out. I don't like that the grease fitting is on the bottom. It's kind of weird to me, but maybe that's fine for the time being. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to grind off the edges here so that I can stow the grater blade out of the way. I'm going to change the engine oil. I'm going to dump it right here, right now. It's been sitting for a month, so I'm thinking that the filter is probably bled back by now. It's my best chance to get all the oil out. I've got a pail of 5W40 T6, so I will put that in, and I've got my little filler thing here. And I'm going to dump the hydraulics. I've got another pail of AW46 over there, and either I'll re-goop on that thing after cleaning out the tank, or I might make a gasket. I'm not sure. Depends if whether I got the material for either option. Kind of tell me which way I'm going to go. I might add a charge port from the starter and over onto the engine mount there somewhere, so that I can keep the battery topped up. I don't even know if this thing will start. I gotta turn on the battery isolator. So that's sort of the game plan for today. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get done, but yeah, I just want to get it kind of safe to use, because I don't consider it really safe for operation with the fluids that are in it currently. And yeah, so we'll kind of pick away at it throughout the day here and give some updates as we go along. Draining the oil is no big deal. It's just a 14 millimeter. You can see I've got my oil pan just kind of wedged in here, and it's slowly draining out. So I gotta check the capacity there before I try to fill it up so I don't overshoot. The oil was clean on the dipstick, so it's not like it was terrible. I do have the filler open just to speed things up. I use a Chinese funnel to help get the oil down there, plus I got my filling container there as well. So that shouldn't be a big deal. Like I said, I'll do the oil filter next time when I order one. And that's going to be a bit messier, because there's no good way to get it out. I might spike it and just drain it out. to get some of the oil out of the filter before I pull it off. So we'll just let that drain for a little bit, and then we'll get some oil in it. Finished draining the oil out of the machine. I think I got about 2 liters of oil out of it without changing the filter. But like I said, the filter's probably empty. And the book says it needs about 3 liters of oil. So I'm going to put in 2 and check things out and go from there. Because I know that they did fill things a little bit low everywhere around the machine. They didn't have them full to the top. They just had them good enough, if not just a little bit below good enough. So we'll do that. One thing, to get the air filter cover back on where it belongs, I had to notch out this rib here so that I could fit the clasp in there. It wasn't going in, but we got that on, so now we can service those air filters regularly without any trouble. So I will get the oil in and we'll see how it took. Alright, so we got it filled up. It used a bit over 2.5 liters. You can see I went from 5 down to about 2.4 roughly on here. So the check area is about 2 inches long on this engine, so it's got a massive variation for acceptable oil level. The transmission funnel helped out a lot. I've got these racks here for grease guns, and they're really handy. You could put your funnel in it and it just drips into these stainless cups, so you're not dripping oil all over the place. So I got my oil suckers here and then my grease guns in here, and that makes that really easy. And having the filler, it's a clean oil change here, no problem whatsoever. And I've got a pail to take my hydraulic oil away, so we're kind of set up for that. So I'll get the machine out so I can swing the house around so that I can drain the hydraulic tank. Hydraulic fluid's on the way out here. So I got the cylinders brought in as much as I can to get as much oil out of the cylinders. It was a 6mm hex. Needed to use both of these to get it out. It was kind of tight the last little bit for whatever reason. There's a lot of air in the oil. It's looking kind of funny, but it's draining out, so that's good. So next step is for me to investigate getting this tube off of here so I can get my hand inside of the tank and do a bit of cleaning. Okay, it's definitely worth getting this apart. It wasn't sealed overly well, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a bit of a lip there, so you can't get all the oil out. So I'm going to use my vacuum extractor to suck out as much as I can. And it's really hard for me to show what's inside of there, but it's worth cleaning it out one time, because there's no filter on this machine other than the pilot filter right there. So we'll get it cleaned out once. We'll add a filter at some point. I'm unsure about how to do it. And yeah, we'll keep on working away at this. So that's the amount of oil I've recovered from the machine. I'd put a few liters of oil in it as soon as I'd gotten it. And I got about 10 liters out now. That's just a DEF bottle there. And to get out the last bit, I did use my vacuum extractor. I just taped it to a metal stick so I could get it in to the corners. And then you can see the rags from cleaning it out. There was a bit of sandblasting debris in there and some rust, so it's worth going in here. Whether I can show you much, I don't think so. Got it cleaned out. One concerning thing was that the strainer was like just about ready to fall off. It wasn't even tight, it was just threaded on. So I'm going to get this clean. It does have a bit of sand or something in it, so it was doing its job. It would be better if there was nothing to catch, but it was catching something. I think there had been some water in this tank before they'd filled it, so it had a bit of rust in it. But that was definitely worth doing. So I'm just going to reseal this with some better RTV and let it tack up a bit. So I'll make an RTV mound, let it cure for a bit, then I'll plop the filler neck back on and squish it down, make a good connection. That's good enough for a differential, so that should be good enough for this thing. So yeah, and then for the oil, I think I went to Walmart to get this, if that makes sense. No, I went to Canadian Tire. So it's just AW46. That's what they say to use on the machine tank. It's a bit heavier than 30 weight or 10 weight. I don't recall how the ISO system works. But anyway, I'm going to put in half a pail of that. And that way I'll have another half a pail for when I change it the next time. And I'll add a filter at some point as well. So I'll be getting that done now. Things are going back together. So I had a hard thing of right stuff. So I cut it open with some scissors and was able to squeeze out enough sealant to do that flange there. And I cleaned off everything with some brake cleaner. So I'm going to plop that on there for a little bit and then we'll fill up the tank. While we're waiting the sealant to set up there, I decided to work on the blades here. So I had to do some grinding on here and quite a bit there. You can see I removed quite a bit. So we're getting close now. So fitting it straight was not an issue, but when turning it for stowage to go narrow was the problem. And now I can just get the hole lined up and get that pin in there. So I have to get it in. If you're lazy and you don't get it in all the way, you're going to end up bending something in the blade and then you won't be able to use it anymore. So I've got to do a little bit more work, but we're close there. So I'll get the other side done and then we'll tighten up this flange and then we'll get the oil in there. Hydraulics are topped up. That thing is tight. That's back on here. Started working on the grease fittings. Determined they have two different sizes and I ran out quickly. These are all apparently not metric. So I'm going to have to take these in and figure out what they are. Found out that this grease fitting is being smashed with a sledgehammer, so it's not going to work anymore. I have to change it. So I only got two changed here. So I think what I'm going to do next is work on the blade. I did get these pins in. They're nice now. You can move them by hand. So that worked out good. So I'll probably tackle this hydraulic cylinder and I might be done for my list other than getting into the swing motor, which is really in there. I have to take up the floorboard to get into that, so maybe another day for that. But anyway, we'll continue picking away at her. Pulled the pin out, I just left a screwdriver under here so I could kind of lever up the weight, and it came out easily enough. But what I found is that the hoses are not long enough to flip them from side to side. So I'm going to have to put it back together the way I found it. The intent was to roll it so I could get that grease fitting facing up, but it's not going to work out. But I thought I'd give it a try anyway. Lost a little bit of oil, but no big deal. I did notice there's quite a bit of foam in the oil. I'm not sure what's going on there. If that's just because the machine had to prime itself after starting up. But anyway, got that. So I'm kind of going to wrap up the video here. We'll do the grease fittings and some further investigation in a follow-up video. But I wanted to get one video out on this machine since I brought it home, and I've got some work done. And I'm pretty comfortable with using it. Anywhere I found had grease on it that had grease fittings, so that's good. But I just need to change some out to make it easier to grease. So hopefully you found this interesting, and thank you for watching.